Hi everyone, welcome to our adult craft. We're doing a virtual adult craft since we don't have the library space, but this one's pretty simple and you can do it at home. A lot of the supplies you should have at home. So all you need for this one is shaving cream. Make sure it's cream foam, not gel, and food coloring, or you can actually use watercolor paints. That works as well. You'll need some napkins, some paper towels, something like that just to clean up. It's a little bit of a messy craft. A spoon, a popsicle stick, a knife, something just to spread your shaving cream out. So I'm going to use a spoon for this one because I've got kind of a deep bowl, but a knife works if you've got something a little more flat. A skewer, and that's kind of specific. So a skewer I had, so I'm going to use that to spread my colors, but you can also use a toothpick or a popsicle stick or just any kind of like little stick or a pencil if you want to clean it off after. That's why I have my toothpicks here. You can use that as well. I think I'm going to be using the skewer. And some sort of, I'm going to use envelopes for this one. You could use cardstock paper or pretty much any kind of paper product. What we're doing is creating a marbling effect on the paper product. So I'm going to be doing just the outside of my envelopes, but you can do anything you like. Some people I've seen just do this part of the envelope, which is also really interesting, really cool. So it's up to you, whatever you want to marbleize. You'll also need, I'm going to be using a ruler. It's plastic so I can clean it off. It's like one of those bendable ones, but really you just want it to be a nice thick something to scrape with. So you can actually use a piece of cardstock if you have cardstock at home, or you can use a credit card, a piece of hard paper or a magazine, anything that can scrape off that extra foam. That's what you're going to use that for. And this is where you're going to be putting your gel in, your shaving cream in. So you're going to be putting a layer of shaving cream down and putting your color inside it to create the swirls, which is going to be your pattern for your paper. So you just want something big and wide, at least bigger than what you're going to be dyeing, what you're going to be marbleizing. So I'm just going to use this, so I just need something kind of small. If you are going to do something a lot larger, you can use a baking sheet or just any kind of big open tray. If you use cardboard, definitely put just something like a piece of parchment paper or something like that, because it's kind of wet, so it might ruin it. I've got some extra cardboard boxes over here. They're just going to be kind of my workstation. I'm going to put my finished marbleized product from here, and it's going to go onto here. This is where I'm going to scrape off the extra shaving cream. And this is where I'm just going to let it dry. So if you had a tablecloth, anything would work for that. That was just my extra thing. So let's get started. So your first step is get your shaving cream, shake it up, and we're going to create a layer of it in our tub here. Okay, so I can take my little lid off. You don't need it to be super thick, but it does have to fill the whole tub. So if you just spread it in there, and then you can spread it out a little more. So it does take kind of a lot of shaving cream, but I think it's worth it. Alright, so this is where my spoon comes in. I'm going to spread it in there to give it kind of a flatter surface and to make sure it fills the whole space. I probably used a little more shaving cream than I needed, so you can use less than that. It does extend a lot, so you don't really need to fill in every space like that. You can fill it in instead by just kind of spreading it out. So you can use a little less than I did. Alright, so once you have that, this is my favorite part. We're going to take our colors and pull those out of there. So I've got the basic colors, and I'm kind of going for a purple effect, So I'm going to be using blue and red for this one. So all you want to do, we're going to go back to our shaving cream, and you're just kind of going to dot it around. Anywhere is fine, because we're going to be spreading it with our skewer or toothpick, whatever you had with you. And then you can always add more color as well. So I'm going to start with that much, and I'm going to add some blue as well, so that some of it together might end up a little purple. That's my goal. You can color mix as much as you want, so if you want the colors to stay more separate, you can make them do that. So don't worry about them turning brown or anything if you wanted to add a little more color. For now, I'm just going to start with these two. I might add some yellow in. But what you want to do is you just want to spread it around. So you want to create kind of a pattern with it. It looks like toothpaste right now. So I'll probably add some yellow in just to make it more fun. But that's what pattern is going to show up on your paper. So just make sure you get it all spread out and you actually just like how it looks as you see it, because that's really what's going to show up. It's fun to go around and around. You can go one direction and then go the other direction to make it a little bit more marbly. So I do like how it's turning out. I think I'm going to add a little bit of yellow though, just for a little bit of color there. But I won't mix it in too much. So just a couple drops. You can always add more, but you can't add less, so make sure you're sure about it when you put it in. So I'm just going to add a little bit of yellow around, just to add some more color. So I've kind of got two little patterns. I have two envelopes that I'm going to be using. Actually, I have a few more, but I'm going to use two for now. And I think two will fit in this tray. So I might just do one over here and one over here. When you want to redo it, you kind of pick up all the color when you put in your paper. So when you want to redo it, you have to kind of redo your foam as well. So put in another layer and put in your colors again. So for me though, I think I might be able to do one here and one here, but I think it'll be better right in the middle. So what you want to do is press your paper flat down. So make sure you have your pattern the way you like it. Find the place where you like best. I like this side best, so I'm going to go right over here. And then you just want to make sure you're pressing that all the way in. So get it nice in there. You're going to scrape off all the excess. So squish it in there, make sure it's getting it all over. You can tap it down a little bit. You can try to avoid getting it on the outside though if you want. And then you just want to pull it out. So you're going to pull it out. All of that color is coming off with it. It looks really cool to me. And then you want to take it down here. This is where you're going to use your scraper. So you've got your scrapes and you're going to scrape all the excess off. Wow, that looks really cool. Alright, so that pattern is really coming through here. Alright, once you have all your excess off, you have it on there, and this is where your paper towel could come in as well. So I'm going to use my paper towel to clean off my scraper so that I can scrape it a little bit more. Because I have a little part here that needed it. Right here. Alright, so that's your finished product. It's pretty exciting. I like it. So I'm going to put it here. Let it dry for a few hours before you start using it and writing on it. But you can start on your next one now. So it's up to you at this point. So here's where your pattern is right now. This is how it's looking. So it's a little bit more mixed together rather than having this swirly pattern. So if you wanted it like this, you could just put it on again, put your next envelope or paper in there, or you can add a new layer. So I'm going to go ahead and just try it like this and Let's see what comes out. I think I'm gonna like it anyway. It's really pretty much what this looks like. That's how it's gonna turn out. So I like it, so I'm gonna go for it again. But if you didn't want to, you just want to spray a new layer. You could clean it out, or you can just spray a new layer of foam on top. Spread that foam out. Do the same process all over again. You just want to put in your color, swirl it around. But I like the way it is, so I'm just going to go ahead and try it again. So I'm going to put it face down again, right here, in that same spot. And you really don't have to push too much. It really soaks up the color with that foam. But do make sure you're rubbing, at least gently, over everything. Make sure you're getting it on there. This one's a little shallow, so I'm gonna kind of press in there. And you don't have to leave it too long either. You don't want your paper to get warped. So then we're gonna pull it out again. Yes, I like it still. We're gonna put it back where we had the other one and just scrape off that extra again. This one didn't have as much extra, and I still really like how it turned out. So it's up to you. So I feel like you could keep going and going if you want a few different ones. This is where I'm just gonna leave them to dry. But as you can see in here, there's still a lot of color left. So you could keep going if you want. And it still does end up kind of swirly. I would definitely recommend using your skewer or toothpick or spoon just to kind of even it out again and then swirl it up again to create that kind of swirly pattern that we were getting over here. But that's really all you need to do. If you want something a little more precise, if you want just this part or a corner of paper, you might want to put some painter's tape on some edges if you want to create more fine lines like that. But there's a lot of opportunities with this one. You can kind of do anything you like. So that's how you do marbleized paper and stationery with just shaving cream and food coloring. Hope you guys enjoyed.